S.E. Hinton's first novel, The Outsiders, was published in 1967. The Tulsa native was 16 years old. 16 years later, Francis Ford Coppola released the movie version of the novel, and the story, both on the page and the screen, has resonated ever since. Now, thanks to one passionate fan with a vision, people are making a pilgrimage to Tulsa to reunite with the Pony Boy and the Greasers on their home turf. Lenz has our report.
On the corner of Outsiders Way and Curtis Brothers Lane in North Tulsa sits a modest home that has become, well, a shrine of sorts for devotees of both Susan Eloise Hinton's first novel and director Francis Ford Coppola's 12th film.
Look at the window. Oh, we did have that in the movie? Oh, wow.
So it's like really cool, the idea that you could come in and see inside here and like see like the shirts and like the outfits and like there's books over there. It's really cool that you can like be in the house and like see the movie and everything. It's awesome.
Carissa Nye hails from just outside of Houston, where her mother teaches a literature class that includes The Outsiders in its curriculum.
She really, really wanted me to read The Outsiders because it's like her favorite book. And she's read it like so many times because she had to teach it. And every time she teaches it, she rereads it. And it's like her favorite thing ever.
A lot of these school systems have for their 13, 14-year-olds or 7th and 8th graders that they read, kind of required reading. Of course, they either do a book report, and most of them now watch the movie. Ralph's character, Johnny, was in the hospital. They come in, and Pony Boy's making him some breakfast.
Michael Fellwalk is a volunteer docent for the Home Term Museum that is becoming a popular destination for tourists.
Well, we get people all over the country. I mean, literally from LA to Maine, from El Paso to Chicago. And ironically, sometimes this is the key stop on their whole summer tour.
Admission is $10, and on weekends they're averaging about 150 to 200 visitors, some of them more famous than others.
The big buzz was Leonardo DiCaprio. He kept his face mask on the whole time, so now I'm giving him a tour throughout the whole house. Nobody knows it's him. Billy from Green Day. So this was their second visit, but this time they brought most of the band, and then again, the buzz was great. I've had Greg Brady here from the Brady Bunch.
Jump around. Jump up and get down.
Danny Boy O'Connor is a celebrity himself. Part of the iconic hip-hop trio House of Pain, O'Connor grew up in Los Angeles and instantly identified with the characters when he first saw the film in 1983.
I was a latchkey kid. My mother was always gone and at work, and my father was in prison or living homeless. And so when I see these kids running around with similar situations going on, I was like, man, if the best life gets is a group of guys that have your own best interests, running around in denim jackets, sneaking into drive-in movie theaters, that'll be okay.
In 2009, House of Pain was out on tour, and Danny Boy found himself in Tulsa with some time to kill.
I had idle time, and I started to think, well, what is Tulsa for? You know, what is it known for? And it hit me, and I was like, oh wow, The Outsiders. And then I started looking around, and it didn't take long to find the house, and when I found the house, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it was still on Earth.
And there was a for sale sign in the front yard. Price, $42,000.
You couldn't buy a place to park a second car for $42,000 in Los Angeles. So the fact that you could buy a house in Tulsa for 42 grand, much less the house from The Outsiders, was like, no way.
5 years later, with the house in disrepair and the owners living in Florida, O'Connor purchased the property and adjoining lot for $15,000.
I went in and I could not believe what a fool I was, because this place was so bad, and I know nothing about restoration of anything. My laundry is unmanageable, much less a house that was in, and that's where I panicked and I asked for help.
It took one person to step up and say, if not me, who? And if not now, when? I don't think anybody else could have done this. You know, nobody stepped up but him.
But he couldn't afford to do it alone, and so he started fundraising. One of the first to contribute, S.E. Hinton. One of the last, Rockin' Jack White.
He played the downtown at the baseball field. He came over the next day and he said, where you at? I said, we're 30 shy of our goal. And he looked around and he said, man, the message is clear. What you're doing is great. I want to give you 30 from last night's show.
The results have exceeded O'Connor's expectations and led to his decision to permanently relocate from California to Oklahoma 3.5 years ago.
This is why I love Tulsa. This is why I moved to Tulsa. This is why I love Oklahoma, because Okies look out for Okies. The people here, what make it for me. I don't think I would have found this support in Los Angeles. I just don't.
And now, just as he was drawn to this site a dozen years ago, others come now to walk through rooms once occupied by Matt Dillon, Tom Cruise, Rob Lowe, C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze, Emilio Estevez, and let's not forget the Soch, Diane Lane's Cherry Valance.
The kitchen was kind of like deja vu, stepping into like a time warp, and I remember all the scenes in the kitchen. The humanism of it all, where they were coming from different backgrounds, trying to make themselves into something, and they were up against everything.
I don't know, he just died. Told me to stay gold. Dolly's gone.
Stay gold. What does that mean?
Stay true. Stay true to who you are. Don't lose yourself. Don't try to change for somebody else, and be good in your heart, and everything else is going to make sense in the end.
It's a unifying, universal language, and as you can see, this movie has been translated into several, and every one of them speaks to the museum's executive director.
It's for kids who don't like to read like myself that you give this book, and a whole new portal opens, and they find this whole other universe, which is vast and infinite. I felt like I was home.
Rich Lenz, the Oklahoma News Report.